What? American.
You have kettles, no?
Wait, let's go with
Whoa, what?
Not really.
We don't really
They don't have
kettles.
kettles.
I
They
don't
use
know.
they heat up with the microwave.
Yo! You
Guys,
love.
wait, hold on. Okay, so that's true.
You use
but-
kettles for what?
To boil water.
And we have medical bills versus what?
Oh, we don't have it because
Wait,
it's,
give me a moment.
it's free.
It's free?
I'm gonna cry.
NHS.
What's up, Giggle?
I'm BOSSBERRY, the host of Giggle Talk Show.
And I'm Shannon. I'm the co-host of this Giggle Talk Show, which we're still struggling to name. Please help us. Yes, but we're going to continue our conversation with the lovely Rihanna.
Lovely
and Emily.
ladies.
So we have two beautiful.
I'm getting emotional.
We have two beautiful guests. They are from the UK, so we're going to talk a little bit about the States, the UK, kind of some differences there. But first, we're going to start with some memes. We're going to kind of get things rolling with a little bit of humor. So let's go ahead and get started.
I love that video.
She's buffering.
Lovely on a fork.
Do you know,
Tell me.
if it had like ham in it, it's closer.
No.
It's closer to a British carbonara.
Oh no.
It is. No, that's true.
Oh well, I'm glad you're standing there.
Do you agree?
Oh, yeah.
But you know what I mean.
If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike. You know what? You know.
It kills me. It kills me every time.
You know what? You know, it doesn't make any sense what you said. It's a different recipe. It's got nothing to do with macaroni cheese. You know what? How random is what? Can please anybody help me here in the kitchen?
Oh God, my God, he choked.
I love him. He's so great.
Philip, yeah. I don't blame him.
I feel like Italians,
Why did she say that?
get
No, but Italians are defensive
yeah,
of food.
No, but I was like,
Yeah.
how would she say that? That's insane.
If I break the pasta, yeah, if you break the pasta, they
they're like,
scream.
I scream.
But there is pasta that is you actually break. There is
Italians sound
that
off in the
no, it's not spaghetti. It's called like sortini. It's called like curtini or something. It's like they actually break. It's a type of dish that you actually break.
Interesting.
So
I heard that when you break spaghetti, an Italian drops dead.
it's actually spaghetti too, but it's for the specific dish. I think from like northern Italy where they actually break it.
We'll figure that out in the comments when this video goes up.
Oh, yeah, I don't
Google it. Google it or put it in ChatGPT and get back to me. I know there is something.
Okay, let's watch the next one. Let's see what we got.
I love the video.
This is the most British picture I've ever seen. There's not one lip in this whole photo.
I've seen this.
It's I just
Is that true?
My father does not have a lip.
That's true.
Well, the very, very. If you can trace your lineage in the UK, you don't have a lip.
But really, is that?
If your whole background is white in the UK, like if you know your great grandparents, great great grandparents, everybody's English, you don't have a lip.
Really?
No.
Whoa.
Isn't
it like a mean thing to say?
No, it's so funny. My father plays a trumpet, and I'm like, with what lips are you playing this trumpet? You know, he's like, and I'm just like, it's very cute, you know, it's just like, but
She shapes her mouth, yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
No.
I did not know that. Wow.
They say it's something to do with evolution, with it being cold. So when it's cold, because you like your lips, it's
Get chapped and stuff, I guess?
No, it's also because of heat. So it's actually somewhere that's very sensitive to cold and heat loss.
So
they're
it kind of.
Exactly. So it's like to keep in the heat.
No, I was just trying it out. I
There,
was just like,
if we,
I was just giving it a go.
no, and then the thing is, you just have me talking, and then in the background you just have her face.
You just have her like,
How do you do anything? Oh my How do you hold water?
Maintain moisture in the while.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to host here, guys. Don't
Sorry.
Okay, so.
That's me trying to
Okay, so other than the lips, what is the biggest difference between Americans
And
the
sizes?
and the
like the,
hold on.
Excuse me, it's the diet.
okay.
Okay, sorry, that was on
What do you
purpose. That
think,
was on purpose.
Shannon? What are the differences?
I was
Let's
thinking-
move on.
I was thinking more about like movies
The size of portion.
No, stop. I meant like humor and movies and beauty standards. But we're not talking about proportions.
Of food.
Portions.
Portions. That's what I said.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't do this.
So gaslit.
Okay, anyway, let's start with movies. What
Yeah,
is
let's
the
start
biggest
with
difference
movies
between
first.
movies in the UK versus movies in the States?
For me, I think British movies are more gritty.
Gritty.
Do you know what I mean?
What's a British film that you would say is gritty?
What does gritty mean?
Gritty is more like brutal, more
Oh.
Crank?
Yeah, Crank. Did you watch it?
I wasn't really allowed to watch movies growing up. I was more of a
I'm pretty sure it's Crank.
I was a book girl.
Jason Statham. He had anyway. I think he had like a
My favorite.
defective heart, something like that. There was.
So you feel like it's more like raw, a little bit
raw.
more
There we
like,
go. Gritty just means raw.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah, more
And-
brutalistic. More.
And I feel like American movies, even if they're technically like a thriller or action or something, I still feel like that has that Hollywood effect on it. I don't know.
The thing is, there's old British movies and then I would call them new age British movies. New age British movies are very dedicated to show the rawness of life, the difficulties that people are going through, the experience of people in the world, whilst Hollywood, in a way, if we're talking about Hollywood, not indie movies, because what is considered indie almost in the US is considered quite mainstream in the UK market.
Depends.
When I say raw and stuff, I mean it in terms of also the cinematography style.
Yeah.
Like
But the stories
this is
as
like,
well.
I
It's
mean,
not as-
like the UK. If you look at the color spectrum, if you watch a movie, it's gonna be like more
Yeah.
grey, stripped back. There's not much
stories-
decorative like color grading happening after the fact.
It's not as
And not as
processed.
much. Yeah.
But the stories
Yeah,
are more
exactly.
raw though. They tend to be more.
I think the language we use, the language we use in our shows, like we don't have as much of a cap in terms of what's allowed to be shown and said.
Yeah.
We can say some very outlandish things, and you do have that shock factor where you're like, gosh, can you really say that? Yeah. Whereas
But
I
in
feel
the
like,
States, they'll censor it.
yeah, there's more censorship. Yes.
Yeah, but I think
Also.
it's because the US focus a lot on what can become commercial, whilst the UK thinks movies to be more about art. You will not get
I
the
think in
budget
the
for a
US
movie.
too, but maybe it's also a cultural mindset thing.
I think
It
it
is
depends on
definitely
the genre. I just think in the States it's so vast. Like there is like that indie subsection of movies, but I even think with like horror and stuff, there's different genres of horror. There's body horror, thriller horror.
Also,
Like
UK is more political. I think that movies in the UK is more political than in America.
Oh, like divisive? You
As in,
no,
they
just-
on.
There's
they,
a message behind
There's
it.
exactly.
I
There's
see.
political commentary, or there is like society. There's some like
Like
almost-
hidden
the
message.
there's a subtext. There's some thought that you have to like throughout the movie. You have to figure something out. Or
I
by the end-
do think that's common in the States too, though, because even that one
Wonder
with
Woman.
no, I mean like the movie like Don't Look Up. That whole thing was political satire. That whole thing was about that
100%.
ideology.
But that's one, and I'm.
But
talking-
there's many like that though.
She just picked it.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Yeah.
I'm saying that within the percentage of what I see coming out from cinema in the US versus the UK, UK, the market demands something that has a story, that has to be political. It has to be something that's some sort of criticism of something, because that's what's valued in that
So
economy.
again, I'm not disagreeing. It's a cultural
There's a culture.
like stance that we have.
I think in the States it's more like there's like a comedy element more often than not. But like I said, it completely depends on genre, because I think Hollywood to this day still dominates like the movie industry, even versus like Bollywood, for example, or like UK industries. But because of that, there's too many different genres for me to say what's most popular. I think that's just like which state is this or that. That's like
Well,
not
we consume
possible.
so much American like media in general, the world. So I think that's also like when you actually initially asked what's a really British movie, I did have to filter through.
Bridget
'cause
Jones' Diary.
Also, yeah.
Angus Song's in Perfect
You
Song.
didn't mention something about humor, like in like movies. Like also, next thing we can actually compare about is humor too.
Very solid segue. Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Blackadder would be a good, like, I think traditional English humor, Blackadder.
Blackadder.
So this is Blackadder is like an old.
Is Monty Python British?
Yeah,
Kind of,
yeah,
like traditional
Yeah,
British?
yeah. That it's really dry.
It's very dry. Yeah,
British humor is incredibly dry. We're very sarcastic.
but I like it.
No. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I love our humor. I think it's some person.
Is that a joke?
Please.
I think the humor both in US and UK is like very sarcastic. I think.
Yeah, it can be quite mean. You have to.
Yeah, but you have to be mean if you want to be sarcastic.
that's
You have to
exactly
be
what I was
mean.
gonna
The
say.
sarcasm feels different in the States. Not that it doesn't exist We're just extra crispy. That's the one way I would say.
extra
Yeah,
crispy.
yeah, yeah.
Extra
A
crispy.
lit- yeah.
I think especially in recent years, like humor in the States has definitely been like diluted a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
because everyone is
But
so
media and
politically
PC,
charged, everyone is so like PC, and everyone's so like touchy.
Yeah.
So I do think like in that sense, I don't necessarily connect with the U.S. humor as much
Yeah.
anymore because now living abroad, I find like UK humor
Yeah.
hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Or like 20 years ago, U.S. humor was also a little bit more like. Would you say
tongue in
crispy?
cheek.
Yeah, exactly. So I
Because
think
these days it's
think
too
now.
touchy.
everyone's too sensitive.
Too sensitive.
Again, it's because it is so, in the UK, it's kind of like, it's within comedy, it's okay to be offended because it's supposed to have a bit of that.
of
It's supposed to criticize in the way, mock what is hardship.
Of
it's
course.
supposed to mock
That's
kind
how
of-
comedians like make an entire life. If you can't laugh about like the problems that are going on, it's just going to be too serious.
But if you look at English comedians, they say stuff that would get into prison in the US.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God we're actually agreeing on this like humor thing. But I think there are also things that like British and American don't understand each other too, right?
Sometimes, I think.
So we have more things to talk about, and we can actually see the photos first, and then we can talk about that. Yes.
Okay, sure, let's go. I'm an American, why would I have a kettle? To quickly boil water. We don't use kettles because we don't drink tea. We have coffee machines, why don't more Americans use them to get hot water? Beats me. What?
I'm an American. Why?
You have kettles, no?
Wait, let's go to
Whoa, what?
Not really.
Because we don't drink
That's real?
we have
We don't really
They don't
use
have
kettles.
kettles.
I
They,
didn't
use,
know.
they heat up with the microwave.
Yo!
You
Guys, wait, hold on. Okay, so that's true.
You use
but-
kettles for what?
Listen, stop.
To boil water.
Yeah, you use it in Korea too.
Oh yeah.
You live.
We don't have
You mean the water boiler, the thing, the kettle?
But I never grew up with a kettle. I thought it was something only in movies where it like screams on the stovetop. No.
Excuse me, that
it's like-
that is a kettle,
Yeah.
but we don't mean, we mean like an electric kettle.
Yeah, electric kettle.
I have one now.
No,
I know what we're talking about.
No,
now.
it's so funny because she was mentioning the kettle on the stove.
Yeah.
But when I think of kettle, I usually think of the electric
No,
kettle.
because she didn't have one growing up, so that's
So
that was
I
her
only saw what was
reference
in
from
movies
you know.
and stuff.
I know, but it's funny that her thought process was the kettle on the stove, and I'm like, if I think, oh, kettle, I'm thinking about the one at uni that's white, and you know.
Right. So I have one now. Like living in Korea, it's like essential. Like you have to have a hot water kettle for like ramyeon or like tea and stuff
You
like
just
that.
did it. That thing we mentioned earlier. Hot water kettle.
Kettle?
You said a hot water kettle.
Did I?
Yeah.
Describe it.
Described it. Yeah. Sorry, I just clocked in. Yeah, I was just like.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I didn't grow
Sorry.
up seeing those at all. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you said, we would boil water on the stove or we would heat it in the microwave because it just wasn't common practice, I think.
Just
But
tea,
now,
tea's not a
but now
cultural
living in Korea, I don't think.
drink tea then.
No,
Just
they
heat
put
it
the
up in the
bag. They
microwave.
put the bag in the cold water and then put it all in the microwave.
You put the hot water in there first, but it depends. Anyway, so I think now even if I moved back to the States, I think I would buy a kettle now because I'm so used to using
Yeah,
it.
you're in the habit of it now.
Yeah, of course, but I don't.
She's just trying to appease us.
I think the average American doesn't grow up with a hot water kettle, no.
Oh, I didn't know.
Or kettle, sorry.
No, it's fine. I didn't know. I didn't know.
It's okay. It's okay. Dumb it out for us.
Here is a selfie I took in 2015 with a washing machine just to prove to Americans that British people actually put them in the kitchen.
Oh, you keep it in the kitchen?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The
That's
washing
not-
machine?
Yeah, it's
For
underneath.
clothes.
It's underneath for a sink for me at least.
Like clothes washing machine.
Yeah, yeah. Where do you
In the
keep yours?
kitchen.
Do you have a separate dryer room?
we have a whole room. Yeah.
But it's because you guys have the massive houses. Like, we don't have that.
I'm trying to
land
think,
mass.
like,
Where do Koreans put their washing machine?
Under the sink. I feel like my first apartment, I had the washer in the sink.
Do we put?
But the thing is, usually in Korea, no, you usually have a room just
Yeah.
next to the kitchen.
Yeah,
where you
next
do
to
the
the
washing.
kitchen, not under the sink.
It
Yeah,
depends.
it
My
depends.
office still has it like that.
Oh,
Like,
really?
underneath mine.
Damn, where am I living?
No, the office towels do because it just
Oh
makes
yeah,
piping
yeah.
sense.
I think like it depends on how
The
how
bigger
big
the
it-
house.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
bigger the house, you usually like when I live by myself right now, but like my house is really small, so I actually have a washing machine in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
quite
but
common as well.
my parents' house, they have like another room beside the kitchen for the washing machine.
In
I
my
never
old-
really
my
got
old place,
that.
I had that. I had like the big like drum that could like open
But that's
up.
crazy.
From the top.
That is an electrical nightmare
I
to
feel like
come true.
Most
like,
commonly in the States, though, it is a separate room. It doesn't like place is irrelevant. I feel like my mom's house sits upstairs, my dad's house is next to the kitchen. But we do have a washer and a dryer.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
exactly.
just one. We do have both.
It's luxury.
But to be fair, usually,
it is.
back in old days in England, for example, the Aga, people used to have Agas in the kitchen. So Aga is like a
also.
self-heating big boiler that is used to heat up the whole house. So that's like old house. So that's an Aga. So usually the kitchen is the warmest and driest place. So you also use it to dry clothes because that is the warmest and driest room
Do
in
you
the
use
house.
a drying rack typically in the UK?
Oh, we put it on our radiators.
Yeah, on the radiator.
Gotcha.
So we actually have, usually there is like a central heating system, but it doesn't go through because they have air
know, it doesn't
being
come-
pumped out or
Yeah,
something.
it's most of the time it's like convection heating.
We
I
have
learned about this recently. I was like, "What's central air?"
no, they have
Right?
air.
And I was like, what is
crazy.
So like you actually have washing machines like in the kitchen, right? Like
Typically,
mostly.
yeah.
Typically.
Yeah.
So talking about heating, Americans use air that pumps from the ceiling. Koreans use the floor.
Yes.
And English people use radiators on the
It's all
walls.
different. Wow.
Very different. I still think ondol makes the most sense.
Yeah, it actually is. It actually
It
is.
uses
Yeah.
up the most. It
is,
uses
it's
up
the
a
best.
lot of energy. Though.
It does, but it makes the most sense. 'Cause
When I
feel
came
like
here, I was like, "Oh, it's luxury." I was like walking on heated
me
floor. I was like,
too.
"Wow!" I couldn't believe. I
I
couldn't
was
believe.
like, I don't have to walk around on
Yeah.
the phone.
But also remember, it's all because of the culture of the Korean houses, hanoks having the center heater that is on the floor.
Yes, it
So
heats all
Yeah,
kinds of-
I don't think there's a culture behind it in the States. I think people are just lazy. But yeah, I think it is what it is. Let's take a look at the next one. See? There's a queue for the bus in London. People in London are queuing for a bus at a bus stop. They are queuing. Well, I think living in Korea, I understand this now more. In the States, we don't really have
Why
as
is
much
that?
of a central.
Why is that a thing?
To queue.
Yeah.
You queue here.
I
as
mean,
well.
yeah, but like.
you guys
We,
don't.
in the States, we don't even call it queuing. We call it just like the line. Yeah. But you have to understand, like in the States, public transportation is not nearly this well developed. There are cases when you'll see a line, but it's only in places like New York. Sometimes LA, but most people don't use buses. We all just drive. There's not even that much of a queue for like subways and stuff like that. Not to the extent of what I understand here.
Actually, no, because yeah,
be.
that's true. When I went to New York, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, it's not like
Like
that.
the subway wasn't like crazy.
Well,
Exactly.
buses in the countryside in England. Yeah.
Far and few,
There's
no?
no such thing as a bus country.
That was once a day there was a bus, and it's just me and the grannies, if you take it.
Yeah, the only buses I think available, aside from like a school bus, obviously, would be like an inner city bus that has like a tiny little route, or it's like a Greyhound bus that goes cross
I
from
heard
like
those are dangerous.
the Greyhound bus I would not take.
I heard they're a bit like they ghetto for
They're a
like
bit, yeah,
better
they're a
word.
bit ghetto for lack of a better way to explain it, but they are a little bit more kind of like public transport, but it's just not common. Like I can't
But I
express
heard
that
you get
enough.
like drug,
But it's
druggies on
really-
there and everything.
Yeah,
And I was
it's a
like,
lot easier to just fly. Like there's so much space in between. Like if I fly, I can get to New York in an hour and a half. If I take a Greyhound bus, it's 10 hours. So it's like, we call it the Greyhound bus because that's like the name of the main company. There's not another one that goes on those journeys
It's
like
better
that.
buses.
So there's like the city bus, which you would just call the bus, or a school bus, which you would just call the bus. But we call them Greyhounds when they go really far. So it's like the name of the.
Fascinating.
Fascinating. Wow, that was really fascinating.
So this one I think if I had never moved abroad, I would be like, yeah, like why are people standing in line for a bus?
Because,
But
like,
now
this
I
is so
live
common
here
in
and like,
Korea, too.
yeah, because transportation here is so convenient, but there is a queue during like rush hour. So yeah.
Because in the UK, to be honest, it's just really expensive to have a car in London. Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's why you use more public transportation.
So there's
a lot
inner
of people
city
do drive
tax.
though. I can't lie.
They do, but it's like the inner city tax, for example. So if you are really going in the city, you just try to take this, the underground or the buses because it just makes more financial sense.
That's why like queuing is actually a really.
It's just like in England, honestly, it doesn't matter how much money you have. I would say most people would still take the underground.
Yeah.
Okay, so UK and US language differences. We have the classic fries versus chips, airplane versus aeroplane, subway versus underground, which y'all just called it, and we have medical bills versus what?
Oh, we don't have it because
give me a moment.
it's free.
It's free?
I'm gonna cry.
NHS. Well,
Y'all don't have to pay for medicine?
no.
No.
Well,
It's,
You guys don't
no, but if
pay?
we go to the hospital, we're just gonna be seeing you,
It depends. It depends. In the UK, it really depends. No, the thing is, if you in the UK, if it's not an emergency, you can't just go to a hospital and say, please.
I'm talking about your GP.
Yeah, you have to go to your GP, but you even have to book.
Is also your general practitioner?
So
doctor,
you're assigned to a doctor, and you have to book with this doctor he has to be the one to say, okay, you can go to a specialist, you can go to this ABCD.
Okay.
And if your general practitioner has loads of people and he's overworked, you won't be able to see your GP for a month. I've seen that.
The system's a bit shoddy. It's getting worse, actually.
I see.
And it's really hard to get.
Well, I can't even talk about the US one. We all know that that's
That's something else. I would prefer the UK to US.
Yeah, if you, like, let's talk about braces, for example. If you have really bad teeth, we can get it on the NHS. So it means that they are like, okay, this is like a medical condition. You will not be able to eat and you will die of starvation if you don't have your teeth done. But if your teeth are like, still can't really close your mouth properly, they're like, you have
not
to
an
pay for it.
emergency.
Not
Yeah.
an emergency.
In the
you have to
States,
pay
it doesn't
for
matter.
Only for
You have to
America, it's
pay for
really
it.
I got mine for free.
Yes, because
My
probably.
my teeth.
But
I
your
just had like a
dentist,
buck
but
tooth.
your dentist has to say that it is you have to it has to approve to go through the NHS. And after a certain age, even if your teeth are in that condition, it's not covered by the NHS anymore.
But generally, you can get care generally.
No, everything's different in the States. Like an optometrist is different than the dentist. That's
It's
different
usually
than the
really
pediatrician.
expensive, I heard.
And it's all very expensive.
So it's like
yeah.
here in terms of having to go to a specialist.
Sort of, but I think in Korea they're better at directing you there without the overcharging and the booking like a month or so in advance. Like even if you
You have to book in advance though.
Yeah, even if you're going to go to like urgent care or something, they'll see you for a certain set of issues, but they'll usually outsource you somewhere else.
Yeah.
So like I had my brain surgery like 5 years ago.
Say, pardon me.
Long story. Anyway, but I had to do like the emergency ambulance and then go to the hospital, and then they had to do like the scanning and the tests, and then I had to go somewhere else to do the surgery, and then I had to go back for a different surgery to go to a different hospital. It was just a lot.
I can't even imagine the cost of gosh.
Oh girl, it was. I think even after insurance, it cost me $66,000 out of pocket. And then just the ambulance ride, it was 4 minutes, was 2,000 USD.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Do you have another picture that we can see?
Yeah, so I wish that we didn't have that, but medical. What comes after 12, 13? Then why did we write 1? Ooh. It's military time, so it's like.
Oh right,
12,
right,
13,
right,
14,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right. I use it, and I
military time.
No, but I use it all the
Oh,
time.
13.
And I like
oh,
messaged a few of my like American friends, and they were like, "Oh, use it military time," and I'm like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh, I get confused." I was like, "What do you mean you get confused? This is your time." I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "What?"
So you
I was so
guys
shocked.
don't
I was
use
like, "Huh?"
military time?
No, we do.
I've always used military time.
But we don't refer to it. It's just the clock.
Yeah,
It's just the yeah.
I've heard that
dunno,
some
it's
people
just
can't
normal.
read the clock though, so that's. I've heard that.
But when I use it again, like with my American friends, they
Shannon, she can't read the clock.
you can't do the military time.
Well, I read a clock. I'm just saying most people read the clock.
Jesus Christ, you just gave me the face. I'm like, that's me, and I'm like, Shannon, surely.
No, there is
We can
actually
read
a
the
thing
clock.
that, like the recent generation actually cannot read like
I
the
want to
analog
say it has
clock.
something to do with like the daylight savings thing in the States.
We just look at the phone.
Where it's like twice a year the time changes. It either falls back an hour or it jumps forward. So do you guys change your clocks in the UK?
Yeah, we change it manually.
Okay, I was gonna say in the South
Oh right, sorry. Also,
we learned about military time, but we never like used it in daily life.
But that's the thing, we don't call it military time.
it's just the time.
It's just
like,
the time.
We just say it. It's just
Yeah,
it just
but-
is.
Okay, so we were actually talking about movies earlier, right? UK and US. And there's a lot of hero movies in the US. In fact, it's not an exaggeration to say that you guys have the most like prolific hero movie industry in the world, whether it's Marvel or DC. Like there are a lot of hero movies. I actually watched Avengers on the plane yesterday. Anyway, so I was really interested in that as well. And what kind of historical context does that have to do with America though? Like the hero movie industry?
I would say like a lot of it stems from just like original comic book stories. So like Stan Lee was the creator of most Marvel, for example. So this would be things like Captain America, which came from like World War II, that sort of thing.
Oh, yes.
So it was during that time that I think a lot of people needed that sort of hero figure. You know what I mean? Because like men would go away to war. There was 2 wars back to back. It was really hard in the States. So I think it was just kind of like that sort of morale building thing, and then it gave little kids something to like look up to, aspire to. Like here's this guy, Captain America, he wants to save the world, and it was sort of to inspire that sort of next generation, I think. So
Also
that's probably-
Superman too, right?
Yeah, Superman as well.
Is this what you have studied to be the surgeons of the superhero kind of law in the US? Is that?
I don't understand the question.
Oh, she was just saying, have you learned about this basically in school?
Oh, no. This is just kind of my personal conjecture.
Perspective. Okay.
Yeah. So I would just say that because like my dad kind of grew up in that post-boomer generation. So he was like a baby of the baby boomers, and he was always talking about how like during that time period, like because my grandma was born like 46, 40, just right after World War II. So
She's quite young, no?
The movies, like it does have a lot of a World War II kind of like for the movies, like Captain America too.
it's even themed then. Like if you watch like the Captain
soldiers
America,
and
it's
everything,
themed like World War II.
Yeah.
Can I try to introduce a perspective?
Of course, go ahead.
So the US, there's a lot of like Uncle Sam needs you, and the kind of you individualistic you, and you're the hero. That's kind of why you joined the army, to be the hero in the army, to be part of.
For sure. There was also like the Rosie the Riveter, like the girl with the bandana and stuff like that. I think it was just a time to like get people motivated to do it, because the U.S. military is based off a voluntary system, unless it's an emergency, in which case we have the draft, which all boys at 18 have to sign up for. But
They're trying to make a heroic image.
yeah, they're trying to make it seem like it's an honor, it's worth doing, like it's something to fight for your country. So I think it's all about building that morale, but also that like nationalism.
They do have a huge culture of veterans as well, which we don't really have.
it's actually really a positive image, though. Yes,
I think so, yeah.
I do actually see a lot of things like that. In the United States, they really treat the soldiers differently in an amazing way. Like if you go to a restaurant or a cafe or anywhere else, when there's like a soldier or like a veteran, you get free meal, and they also say thank you for your service. Right? Yeah. I saw so many videos about it, and I was like, oh my god, that's really sweet and heartwarming.
I will say we do that, but I think when it comes to like the way that we treat veterans, we are lacking a lot. I think we could do so much better than that.
What? Because in the UK, you see it as a career path. In the UK, it's a career path. My grandfather is a war veteran.
But it depends in the States. It's very polarized. It depends on which war they fought in, which I know sounds a bit odd, but if you fought in like World War II, or if you fought in Afghanistan, heroic, really good. But if you fought in Vietnam, it's like a lot of those people now are homeless. There's so many homeless veterans in the States, and I just feel like even though you're offered a discount at a coffee shop, that's not substantial enough.
But the thing is, it seems to be a lot of finance involved in the UK. There's a lot of more like mental support for everything. Like when you go for something like that mentally challenging in the UK, and for example, at uni, right? There's like I had a moment that I had to take time off uni because somebody had passed away. And I wrote to my uni saying this. They were like, oh, if you need any help, we have a whole self-centeredness. And like, take the time that you need, you know, you can, in the US, I know that not to be the treatment you get. You don't get this kind of understanding, this kind of, it's okay to not be okay direction of your feelings are important, the way you are.
I feel like it's overwhelmingly like that. I feel like it's even pushed to like go check out like BetterHelp.com.
They're like in school counselors.
Yeah, I was gonna say we
I understand what you're saying. I do get it.
Yeah,
but like,
I just
think they do have the outreach. It's just
I do think it's again, guys. It does. You have to remember everything is state by state. The laws are going to be different no matter where you're from. If it's going to be a more like democratic, liberal state like New York, California, those sort of areas, it's pushed. It's like go seek help, even if you don't think you need it. Like just go make sure somebody's there for you. When I went to college, there was a mental health center. There was a counselor in my school. Like growing up, elementary, middle, high school, all of that. So it is available, but I just think it depends on your state, but also as like your family and how they accept it. Because I do know a lot of like traditionally Southern people around the Bible Belt that are just like mental illness isn't a thing. It's just like it's a ploy for more money and just stuff like that. But I think overall in the States, it's definitely leaning more towards that, pushing mental health issues and stuff like that.
It was really, going back to the concept of the mental health thing, I literally knew, like a friend who was going through something, and he was in the Bible Belt, and his mum said, oh, I'll pray it away for the devil of depression to go away from you. And I'm just like, and they were able to have autism, and the mum was praying because like it's not going to stay forever. She was like, oh, we can heal this with prayer. And I'm like, you know, just.
Yeah, and I think I know people that were told by family members that like depression was just a label. Like it was something that you give yourself. Like if you claim that you're depressed, then that's like you labeling yourself and saying that you feel sorry for yourself. So I definitely don't agree with that. I think that I grew up with a more supportive sort of atmosphere than that. But I do know a lot of people because I'm from rural North Carolina. So it was very much a mix between like Hispanic, traditional like white Bible belts, you know, that sort of thing.
Is it more Mormon?
No, that's more like Utah. But then there was also just kind of like the mix of whoever else in anywhere, because the States is always a melting pot. But I think there is like categorically certain groups of people where that was more accepted than others. So we've talked a little bit about kind of like the perspective of military and things like that
veteran
in the
soldiers,
States and in the UK. So I was just wondering if there's any sort of like government-supported program for veterans in Korea, or if you knew anything that was going on with that.
Let's see a picture first.
Okay.
Oh, this upsets me so much. I can't even.
Oh yeah, actually, so about that thing, let me kind of explain that thing. Picture is actually a veteran who financially having a very, very difficult time, even though he served the country a long time ago. More devastating is that his house. So his house is just like worse than you think. It's just every part of that house is old. It's like crumbling down. And it's just full of, you know, rubbish and trash and all the things that he picked up. He doesn't even have a bathroom. So he has to use the public bathroom.
Is he located in Seoul or?
It doesn't matter. I think he just he cannot afford a proper house that has a bathroom. So he has to use a public bathroom.
Is that a common issue with people like him?
I'm not sure if it's like common, but there's definitely a lot of cases like this. So, and he was the veteran who really served a lot for Korea. He was a hero. He was a hero. Even I'm a Korean, and I didn't even know that he was a veteran. Right? He's being forgotten. So, InFresh is actually the program that helps the veterans, and they say, we will not let you be alone. We will not let you be forgotten. We'll be with you. The workers from InFresh actually like found all those like veterans, tried to find all of them, and then had some meals together and listen to them because, like we said, they're being forgotten.
And they're very lonely.
Yeah, they can't really speak out. So we have to actually go to them and walk to them to actually hear them out, right? Thanks to InFresh, there are some other Koreans like us, just normal Koreans, that can actually know that this is happening. InFresh actually have these donation goods and key rings. It says things to remember. This is like a Korean flag. You can actually open it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, they're all different.
Yeah, they're all different, but they're Korean flags. Because like they're veterans, they're heroes that serve the country. So yeah.
So it's like to serve as a reminder for you
Yeah,
to
yeah,
not
yeah.
forget them.
Yes. And that, so if you buy these,
I get goosebumps so easily.
Yeah, it's like so this make us remember the sacrifice these veterans made for us. Thanks to them, we are here right now. We are here in this studio, right? So if you buy these key rings over here, this will be actually the money that's made from this charity will go to the veterans and to help them have better houses, better food, and everything. If you actually get to donate for the charity, it's not from InFresh, it's actually your name. On your name, by your name, yeah.
So it's a direct donation to those people.
Yeah, through the charity, but your name will be there. Yes.
Okay.
This is for you guys too. Yes.
Oh, we can keep it.
Yes. And so you guys can actually show your friends that this is actually for the veterans.
To be honest, the good thing about it being a keyring is that we can.
We can actually just carry it around.
No,
right?
the thing is, it's something that you forget unless you.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
we live honestly because of them, we live such a comfortable life to the point that we forget that they are the ones who are struggling at the cost of economic growth. So it's actually really, it's a really clever idea that to us to keep remembering.
Yeah, we keep remembering. Yeah. So it's a very cute tiny keyring, but if all of us join together, we can make a really big miracle. Yeah. It really breaks my heart just to see the picture.
I know.
As a Korean, for me, I didn't even know properly, and now like this things to remember. It says things to remember at the back here. So yeah, we should not forget them. So yeah, make sure you guys share, show this to your friends too.
Thanks for sharing that with us. Yeah.
Yes.
Like we said, guys, make sure that you check them out. Feel free to buy a keyring as well. They're really cute. They're super tiny. So you guys can hang on to those.
Okay, so thank you guys for
Yes,
listening to
of
me. I
course.
wanted to really point this out. Okay, I'm also really curious about school life in both countries.
Oh yeah, I've done a couple videos about
What's
this
with
before.
this?
They're quite different.
What's a hair flip? Oh, actually, American schools have a very like bright, like free spirited feel, like teen spirit. Your hair flip was very like teenage. Like,
Sometimes, I guess. I think it depends on the school because there's
Like
a lot of
teen
places where
drama.
it's like strict dress code and stuff like that.
Oh, actually, yeah, British schools have like,
Oh, yeah.
uniforms.
Do you guys
right?
wear uniforms?
Formal uniforms and very like classy feel.
I did wear a uniform, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But what is it really like? Not in the movies and stuff. What is it really like in the US and the UK?
Uniforms? Or?
Yeah, uniforms. yeah, uniforms are just like school life because I feel like
you're
it's more
gonna have
classy.
like completely different experiences based on what type of schools you go to.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like I had two very different types of education, like when growing up. So the first school that I went to was just a regular school, and primarily it was like inner city kind of school. It was the pass rate wasn't that great. A lot of the kids were not studious or might have come from maybe some troubled backgrounds. So that system was one where you could see the kids who were very like interested in education and learning and bettering themselves, and then there was some other kids who had a harder time with focusing on subjects. And then after doing that, and I was one of the I was a nerd, right? So that was me. So anyway,
Everybody's a nerd.
uh,
I was a nerd too.
I was like the one that were like, you're a neek, and neek,
Everyone here
neek was like
was a nerd.
It was a blend of nerding. It was like a new word they used. A neek, yeah. Is it though? Not when you're being like bullied.
yeah.
But anyway, so I had that experience, and then I transitioned, like I got a scholarship and I went to a private school for sixth form. Do you know what sixth form is? I know that's different.
It's the equivalent of the last 2 years of high school.
So it's so from age 16 to 18.
Sophomore
There is like
and
a
senior.
almost like a
Oh, like
Well, we call them AP.
AP.
AP is like college course level, but it's only
Okay.
available to like junior, senior.
No. So it's actual the 2 years completely. They're called sixth form. It's not a course or something that you're taking.
It's a
the
separate
equivalent.
establishment entirely.
I see.
So it's almost they separate the people who are up till sixth form, and then the 2 last years before you go to university, you study almost as if you're already doing some small university
How about
courses.
high
So you kind of
school?
prepare.
Isn't
There's
it
no high school.
So we have
There's no.
It's only sixth form.
So
Ours is
it's,
sixth form.
the order goes like primary school, secondary school, sixth form, and then university or college.
Wow, that's
We have elementary, middle, and high school, and then college.
yeah, in Korea too.
In sixth form, it depends what you're doing, but if you're doing something called A levels, you literally choose from 15. You choose 3 subjects that you're going to study from 15 onwards. You don't ever need to study English again from 15 onwards if you
If you
decide
didn't
to
want
not
to.
do it.
It's a very, like the sixth form, those 2 years is a very intensive program in which you really hone in on those 3
Like your
specific
skills, what you wanna work
subjects.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
And it dictates what you can study at university.
That was harder than university. In my opinion, it was harder than university.
For Koreans, so, like when you like right before you go to college, like in high school, like 1 year before you go to college, like it's like the most intense year because like you have the 수능, the big exam, like but we don't really have a specific term for like 2 years like
So
that.
the thing is, as SHANNON, you study everything. The English system is extremely different because you actually have to pick 3 or more subjects from everything. So I chose, for example, maths and like economics and history, for example. But that's
The 3 I wouldn't have
But
chosen.
that's the only 3 that I studied. I didn't study any more biology. I never even
love
looked
bio.
at whatever. And you can do no. That's the thing. From 15, if you suck at math, you're never gonna see math again in your life. After 15.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
America, straighten
Like, I feel like the subjects I picked were like,
But then, for example, you already at 15 have to make the decision, what do I want to study at uni? Because if you're like, actually I want to study physics, if you don't study maths and physics
You
at
can't.
A-levels, you can't do it. So you actually have to stay longer and then do those A-levels.
Oh, that's quite the task for like a 15.
Yeah, for a 15-year-old, you're just
Yeah.
like middle school.
Yeah.
I guess in my, when I went into sixth form, my standpoint was just, I know what I don't want to study. And so I just picked the ones that I had more of an affinity to, rather than thinking about the future. Because as long as I did well at A level, I could still study more or less whatever I wanted at university.
Yeah, in the
It
States,
didn't have to have a direct.
In the States, it's like your junior year in high school is the most intense.
Yeah,
because the junior year is when you start to take your ACT, SAT, and that's when you like apply for college because it takes so long for those applications to process. You're already into your senior year by that time.
Interesting.
So it's like the junior years tends to be the most difficult, and then senior year is kind of like you're chilling. You're just waiting to go to college. Yeah. I had like,
But you haven't had any SATs, so you have to study for them.
no, you do that junior year, like junior year
You
summer
do
going
SATs in junior year?
end of junior year, going into senior year.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
so,
it's
Yeah,
around
that makes
16.
sense. But that makes sense.
so you do the entrance exam for uni before you finish school.
Yes, because
And you
it's-
just YOLO for a
yeah,
year.
but because
That's what I mean.
YOLO
You actually do
after
the
that.
exams to enter uni, and then for a year you had to
most
finish
people,
high school.
I didn't find out when I was going to college until halfway through my senior year. So if you don't apply in your junior year, you don't go right after high school. You'd have to have a gap year.
But do you need to achieve certain grades at the senior
Oh,
year?
yeah.
I have a question about
Yeah, yeah.
the GPA. I don't know how that works. at
GPA.
all.
So
Yeah,
in high
I never
school,
understood it.
in high school, it's a more loose scale, I would say.
Right.
But there's typically like up to a 4.0, and it
Yeah,
can be
yeah.
anywhere between like a 4.0 and 0 technically.
Yeah.
Good.
That's the
Oh
best.
yeah, 4 is the best. 4 is like A's in every single subject. But there are cases when you can take what's called AP classes, which is
Yeah.
college level courses in high school.
Yeah.
And if you qualify for those and you do well, you can get above a 4.0, which is what universities like Harvard and stuff look for. It's like 4.3, 4.4, which is really extremely difficult. You have to be completely perfect to get that.
Let's move on to teen dramas, actually.
Oh,
we talked a
fun.
lot about like school stuff.
Degrassi.
Favorite teen dramas you've watched? Because I've watched Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl, Vampire Diaries.
Gossip Girl a lot, yeah. But what are the famous teen dramas in British teen dramas?
Some of my favorites
Skin?
were Skins.
Oh,
Angus
Skins.
Songs
I
and
love
Perfect
Skins,
Snobs.
actually.
Perfect Snobby. There was
Oh,
this one
yes.
called House of Anubis.
Skins and Gossip Girl. Okay. Oh, I can ask questions now. Okay, so first, Gossip Girl and Skins. Are they really like that?
Absolutely not.
Like just what you see on Skins, like they do, illegal stuff.
Skins, absolutely.
I know, but in England, do students and do a lot of drugs?
Absolutely. In my
100%.
private school,
100%.
my public school, okay, whatever, but the private school, those kids were drugged out.
oh yeah.
Really? Because when I was watching Skin, I was like, no, that's just a teen drama. But no,
They're on ket. They're on like
Yeah,
LSD.
they were like,
Yeah.
we would have
everything.
we would have
cocaine.
parties, and the
I
guys
was
were like,
like,
It's mostly like weed and
literally.
no, no, but for the private school kids with the money, like I was shocked.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
coming
Way
to
more. Okay, we don't
Hard
want to
drugs,
name drug names, but like the thing is, I remember
Oh,
going
sorry,
to
I'm sorry.
class. I remember going to class, and they're like, okay, we're a class of like 15 because we have a period first thing in the morning where everybody's sitting there to just be existing and counted for like 30 minutes. You don't do anything. And I just remember sitting, and you can see who's on drugs, and they're just there like
moms,
this.
it's not easy to get drugs.
Some of the kids were like, because they were having like the side effects. So like,
No,
There was
yeah.
a kid in my high school senior year class. He got arrested in the middle of class.
But that's
for-
not a kid. That is the thing. There's a
selling?
few kids.
I swear. I'm sorry.
he was distributing.
Yeah.
How about Gossip Girl?
Is it okay? So I need to preface this by the school in Gossip Girl. I haven't watched it either, but my mom used to love it. I saw like the first episodes where they're wearing like the little sexy skirts and like whatever. Anyway,
25?
yeah, they're 25 acting like high schoolers.
Like,
But
who looks
it's
like
like
that,
it's
13?
extreme elite private schools, right? So that is very different from the typical high school, which I would attribute to being more like Degrassi. That sort of thing is much more common.
But they have parties and stuff.
That part's true. Americans have house parties all the time.
The red cups, yeah.
The red
Oh, the
cups,
red soda
beer
cups.
pong.
Yep.
Even
Oh,
high school
I'm a
kids have
champ at beer pong. I probably shouldn't say that.
I thought, but I remember us
I
playing
was a
together.
sorority girl.
I'm excuse me, but I remember us playing together, and that wasn't the reality of that game.
How many drinks did I have? Because
Yeah,
if
probably
it
a few.
wasn't, if it wasn't,
Because I was
two,
on your team.
I wasn't
Multi
good.
skills.
I was on. She's like, I win every game, and I was like, fantastic.
Not every
we were
game.
on the same team. We lost terribly.
But they were really good.
Do you actually drink too in high
Yeah.
school?
It will.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I will
Specifically,
say. I will
high
say.
You guys do drugs, of course. You guys drink.
No,
The UK.
You're not meant to, not meant to.
But the thing is, at 15, you're legally allowed to drink with somebody who's over 18. Yeah,
So
you're-
even though
yeah.
you were a teenager, you can drink.
No, they don't have to be a parent. They have to be somebody over
Are
18.
drugs
Oh God.
illegal?
Yeah. No, it's
Because it's so common.
line.
But I just wanted to know if it's so common between like teenagers, like Skins, like if
the
it should be.
police.
accessible,
Yeah, but the police has stated that they won't go. They literally the head officer of the police whatever. He was like, we're not going to prosecute for
Wow.
these drugs because like it's not worth
But they
our
would
time.
in the States. And I will say, like,
That's the
house
thing.
parties and stuff are so common because you have to remember, like, it was like we were talking about the bigger houses. I grew up in the countryside. My house is surrounded by forest, right? So, like, they're a lot more private. So it is common that people like will go out and drink, but it's not like they're going to some random location. It's like you're going to a friend's house and you're like drinking.
Oh, I can talk about the country experience in England.
Oh.
We used to throw parties in fields.
Oh, we do that too.
Like random fields, just
Yeah,
throw
fields,
parties.
fields, yeah.
Field parties.
It was like
my
a
God,
bonfire.
I envy you guys.
Yeah.
Korea is so boring now.
Yeah, the countryside.
Okay, talking about cultures, like there are some unique school cultures that I know. In the U.S.,
I knew this was coming. I don't even need to know.
Sorority girl, y'all.
I was a sorority girl.
the active shooter training in the U.S.
So there is.
I had to mention it.
We do have.
It is a very
shooter
sensitive topic to talk about, but there is actually a training system.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it is very common. My college was one of the ones that was shot up my year. I was senior. Yeah.
So like,
So I have personal experience with a lot of that. It's okay. It was a long time ago now, but I didn't start really practicing until I want to say it was middle school. I don't have recollection of practicing it in elementary school. But basically what happens is the teachers will let you know that it's happening that day because they don't want people to be scared.
You just scared me that the teachers let you know when the
They'll be like, hey guys, we're having a school, I think it's like a school break-in or like a suspect in the school. They don't typically say shooter, or at least they didn't when I was younger, but it was basically they'll turn off all the lights, they'll lock the door, they'll put something in front of the door, they'll close the windows, and you'll have to like be really quiet. And then like whoever is like the person that they're impersonating like taps on the door and stuff. It's just to make sure that you don't like show yourself.
It's so sad that you have those.
Yeah, and I just remember like it was so normal. Like we would just like cram in the corner of the room. We would just sit there for like 5 minutes, then we go back to class.
But it still happens. It still happens.
But
That's
my little
crazy.
sister will be 14.
We had the ones that used to simulate like.
You guys have any unique school
We
culture?
did have like fire drills.
But that's not.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not
yeah.
I don't think that fire drills. Yeah, but
Not like.
We used to have to do like one if there was I don't know an earthquake or something or a bomb or something.
We've
or
never
if
done-
we used to go under the table, you know.
yeah, we had one that suddenly.
Oh,
the
intruder drill. That's what it was called.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but it's so funny because I had one stab drill, and it was like we didn't really know that it was happening that day. So we got and everybody's like, everybody under the table. We're like, what the hell is happening? And they're like, oh, it was a drill for like if there's a stabbing, and we're like. We've
What?
never, for
Yeah.
like 20 years of being in this universe,
Unfortunately,
it never
though,
happened.
it's quite necessary in the States. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a double-edged sword because I hate that it's something that we have to do, but I'd rather them be prepared.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Because like
Better
my little
safe,
sister
yeah.
will be 14 this year, so it terrifies me when I think about schooling systems that she still has to learn how to do that, and it's like increasingly common. But some things that are different across the states is like we also have different natural disaster drills everywhere. In California, they have earthquake drills all the time. In my state, we have tornado drills, and there was the tornado that went through my school when I was in elementary school.
Oh, the Saturn accent just like came
Sorry. I didn't even notice, but yeah, we did have to do tornado drills where you like, put your head over your hands and stuff. So I think there's a lot of different types, but commonly it's definitely
Can I
tornadoes.
actually ask you one sensitive question?
Go for it. Yeah.
A very sensitive question.
Did you go to prom?
Is the Americans are stupid stereotype
Oh,
real?
girl.
Americans are stupid stereotype
You're
real.
asking that to the blonde. I'm joking.
Yeah, because there's a stereotype. It's not my opinion. There's a stereotype that
I'm an American who's blonde with a Southern accent. I've heard it all, okay? Like, I think that there's a lot of general consensus that the Southern accent means you're dumb, or that being blonde makes you dumb, or that being American makes you dumb. But in reality, it's really just like, there's stupid people everywhere. I do think Americans tend to be a bit more boisterous or gregarious about their ignorance on certain topics. But I also
the
think
stereotype you think it is.
yeah, but I think stereotypes come from some form of truth, right? And like I know that's going to be a polarizing thing to say.
No,
but
I say that all the time.
Every person who hasn't left their country and lived in their country forever is going to be ignorant of
Yeah,
other
exactly,
countries because
exactly.
they live in their country.
Thank
and that's
you.
the
I
whole
think
thing.
if I've never lived abroad, like at least just I lived for abroad for a few years, international stuff. But I think that really helped me to see, like, broaden my perspective a lot.
It's not a necessity to know about everything, right?
Yeah.
Unless you you have to experience that. So the whole thing about Americans are stupid is because we expect Americans to know everything because they are everywhere, if that makes sense.
We can actually
that's not
watch
the
a
reality.
video
Let's check this out
about
really
this
quick.
stereotype thing.
Do you know when the U.S. was founded? No. Take a guess. Around when?
Probably like, I don't know, like 1901.
Yes. Very good.
The fact that he says so good is
No,
just...
but he's being mean.
I know, that's so mean.
Do you know how many continents there are?
No.
How many states make up the United States?
How many states make? Dude, I know this.
You know this.
I do.
You're okay. You're okay.
That's crazy.
You're
I don't
okay.
listen to-
Say a number. Say a number.
I don't know.
No, you do know this. You do know this.
this.
Do you know who the president is right now?
Joe Biden.
Do you know who the vice president is?
All right, guys. So now that we got to watch some of them answer some questions, we're actually going to play a little game, and we're going to test your knowledge. So let's go ahead and
You
get started.
partaking?
I don't know.
All right.
Okay, let's do
I
this.
feel the heat coming off her already. All right, let's go. Oh, America. India.
Pardon?
India.
UK? China?
Wait, what country has the most population in the world?
Yeah.
It's China, of course.
It's India.
Uh,
So what was that? Huh?
China, India, Nigeria.
Next, let's go.
I was zoning out. I was trying to like
the question.
So wait,
India is crazy. Oh my
so
gosh, I
what
didn't
are-
realize it's supposed to. Yeah.
So what, do we lift up our hands and answer, or
You
do
could
we?
say your country.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can say England and push it on her.
Like,
I guess so.
I guess, yeah. I
England,
guess.
her.
I
Alright,
guess.
let's go. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, you're keeping a record, right?
Oh, okay, brilliant.
What do I win?
Pride.
Ah,
I should have got the first one. I'm
Wait.
gonna get 0 points on
what
this.
is it?
USA? Is it UAE?
Emily,
I choose
Malaysia?
not to answer because I do not know.
No, sorry, that's not my country. England, Malaysia.
I don't know this one actually.
It's probably something in Africa
Could be.
Oh, I'm having
because they
a.
have such large populations of Muslims. North Sudan.
You can't just list every country.
That's not how this works. I think none of us are sure about this one, so let's go ahead and see the answer.
I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. I don't even.
Malaysia.
Indonesia!
I was
bro.
rather
My
close.
mind went blank.
I was like,
My
I
mind
know
went blank.
Now we all act like we knew it.
Tragic.
None of us would have guessed Indonesia, but
I said Malaysia.
how many states does the United States consist of? Oh. No, oh no, go ahead. I want to hear this. I want to see if y'all can get it.
Oh, now I don't want to say.
No,
No, I don't want to say.
Right. But remember, Washington DC.
I was gonna say 50.
I was gonna say this is slightly.
I was gonna say
There's an
50.
asterisk
Isn't it,
here.
is it 50?
51?
51, but minus one potentially?
but
Korea 51.
Excuse me, you can't just do this.
Korea
it's like-
51.
it's whether or not
Puerto Rico
Is
counts
that-
as a state.
So it could be 52, you're saying?
It could be 51.
As far as I know, it's 51.
There's 50 stars on the United States flag.
that's what I was
50?
But yeah, there's 50 stars, but it's whether or not Puerto Rico is
I
considered a state.
prefaced that. I said 50, so
Yeah,
51.
no, you
but
did it. You got it.
she is correct.
You did.
You were
fantastic
right.
job.
You were right. It's up for debate because it's a U.S. territory, but it's not necessarily a state. Anyway, 50. Well done. Next.
Korea.
You were very sure for that question mark on the answer.
UK, right? Go on.
Yeah, you can. No, but you. So population-wise
No,
again,
just
or is
largest,
it
largest country.
landmass.
I was gonna say
Oh, no,
Russia.
no, no.
Let's go Russia.
Russia, no?
No.
Russia, I guess.
Russia.
What are you? But excuse me, you can't. It turns.
Russia. I know it's Russia. I was like, probably
Yeah.
One
Russia.
point for both. 'cause
There's
you're
Russia.
Alright.
It's landmass, right? Okay.
Yeah, landmass is Russia.
Or
Yeah.
team point systems.
Team, you have a point. You have a point. I have a point. We're tied. Oh, America, 2.54.
Hey, come on. We don't use inch. Koreans don't. In Korea, we don't use inch. We use centimeters.
So to be honest, I knew it was
Come
like
on.
2.4 something, 2.5.
I had to learn this for chemistry.
This is-
It's 2.54.
I didn't even.
This is very unfair. I do not.
That's brilliant. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
You don't know inch.
I'm very proud of myself. Let's go, America.
Right after I talk about the
right after
stereotype.
that bullshit clip about. Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Beep, beep.
America, don't get offended.
America
America
chill.
getting offended.
Okay, next. Let's see.
Well, come on.
America. It's like it's the equivalent of like the prophecy, the Bible for Islam.
I mean.
Well,
yeah.
actually, it's the Bible plus books from Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah,
So it's actually just an addition of books, and
I
Jesus
learned
is just
this in
seen as
Korean. I
Yeah.
just got to read it right now. It's like, I learned this in Korean.
central religious text.
It says, ma'am.
I was trying to like pronounce it.
You had more detail than me, so I think we
Yeah.
both get a point.
But to be honest, you definitely knew it. You just didn't say it. So same thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Next.
England,
England,
darling.
England, sorry. I don't know what growling. Fuck. Wait. I said 1913 until, right? 1919? It was 19, no?
I just little stuff.
1919, no? Am I lying?
The thing is,
1919?
1919 or 1917, wasn't it? 1917 to 1919.
Yeah, end. I'm saying 1919. 1919, I said. For the end.
I don't know, 1912?
I think
Pardon?
I don't know. No, that was the year the Titanic sank, I think. I don't know.
Pardon?
Oh, fuck off!
1918. Oh, come on! It was just before. Okay, I didn't know. I was like 1919 because remember I did it for
1919.
GCSEs.
Okay, yeah, I had no idea.
What?
You
No?
don't have it.
Next question.
I swear it was 1919.
Yeah, but
Punching air.
I remember putting because we did the winter. Anyway, I wrote about the winter.
anyway,
thing.
let's go.
Punching air. Oh,
Oh, come on.
UK.
England.
Chile, Argentina, Brazil.
Oh, come on. That's just.
Sorry,
Who can names more?
my
Chile.
stupidity will be shown here, and like I can't name it. 저도 모르겠어요. No. I'd rather not say anything. Rather saying something really stupid.
I
I'm
am
very
half
bad
Brazilian,
at
so come
countries.
on.
I'm really bad at countries. I'm the host. You guys talk. Whatever.
Ecuador.
Colombia, Guyana, Venezuela, Argentina.
Arguably
Yeah.
Central America, but yes, okay. Next. Okay.
Oh, Fidel. Oh, sorry, UK. Is Fidel Castro? Fidel Castro?
Chavez. I thought it was Chavez.
Oh, am I wrong? Oh, I hate myself if I'm wrong. Oh, God.
I think it's Chavez, but I'm like.
No, I could. Am I lying?
He's the guy. He's
No.
Where is the cigars from again?
Cuba?
Cuba. So this man is
Fidel
Cuban.
Castro.
So he's Fidel Castro.
No?
If it's Cuba, it's Fidel Castro. For
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, fuck.
Well,
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I forgot. Oh, gee, Willy, curse. Oh, no. Oh, gosh.
All right, let's high five, guys. That was good. That was good.
I did not deserve. I did not deserve a high five.
That made me ill.
Brain, what are you? I need to go back to high school.
Okay. Whoever's editing this.
Cut all of that out.
This is not a real mic.
No. Okay, everybody.
This is not a real mic, by the
Coca-Cola,
way.
Pepsi, Nike.
This
Please
is
edit
not
this
a
out.
real mic.
Please edit this out.
This is not a
Is that
real
a
mic.
That's what it's
Please edit this.
Okay, guys. So that was really fun.
Can we? Let's edit this out. Let's edit this out.
The thing
oh
is,
my god.
we're adding to the stereotype of women in general being stupid. So let's not,
Adidas.
You didn't take it there. You took it there.
All right, you guys. So that was the end of the game. I think we all kind of had like a piece of that. That was really fun. But I think that was it.
Russia.
I think that's gonna conclude it. It's getting late. We gotta end the episode.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for coming.
Yeah, so we need you guys to watch this content. So like we can keep making this content. We keep making these videos for you guys. So please subscribe and like and leave comments.
A question mark? Yeah, leave a comment if you guys enjoyed it.
We still need a name. Yeah, I saw one comment actually. Someone actually suggested a name. I forgot it, but yeah, someone did suggest a name for the show. So yeah, please leave more comments so that we can actually get a name for the show.
Yeah, make sure you guys as well leave some suggestions for topics that you'd like us to cover. Like I said, each time we have different guests from different countries. This week it was UK. Thank you so much to our Rianna and to Emily.
See you again in Brazil.
Yeah. Before we wrap things up today, how was this experience for you guys?
I think it was pretty cool to learn about some differences. You clued me in on some things I didn't know about the States.
Yeah,
you clued me
likewise.
in on veterans, I guess. And so I didn't know. I think we all learned something from each other culturally today.
Yeah, it's very educational, surprisingly educational.
These always get more spirited than I anticipate, but it was really fun, I think. So anyway, like I said, you guys, if there's any topics or conversations that you want us to cover, let us know. Oh, did you want to say something?
Apparently not.
No. I think I read your body language as you just kind of.
No, I am
didn't wanna
just chilling.
No worries. Did you enjoy
coffee?
Did you enjoy it today?
Absolutely, yeah. We're ignorant until we ask questions and talk to other people.
There you go.
Yeah, I learned so many things.
I learned that I'm completely ignorant and I should just
No
keep my
way.
mouth shut. So yeah, that was my conclusion to today.
Anyway, make sure that you guys go check them out. Feel free to purchase a keychain and support the charity if you can. As well, make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe as always, and we will see you next time. Bye.